Hello. Right, this is going to be a demo stroke showing you how I built my vocal pedal. First thing I'm going to do is talk about what it actually does. Just turn it off to begin with. It's not going to be any audio from this in this video. I will be doing another video on the sound of it, mostly because it's XLRs, and I don't have my mixer on me at the moment. But let's start off with turning it on. I've put in a simple on-off switch, turns power on. Unfortunately, this doesn't reset it if it's already on. So if that switch is on, it's going to be on when it turns on, which is a bit annoying, but I can live with it. So, as I've just shown you, this button here holds the on, and you click it, and you have to click it again to turn it off. Now, second switch is a momentary switch, which is the signal is being changed as long as it's being held down. So if I let go, it stops. Alright. This dial here, I cannot actually show you what it does, but this is actually the volume for the microphone in and out. So it's not a pre-gain, I'm guessing it's post. I'm not quite sure what it's basically just a variable resistor on the line in. Now, best way to show you this one. This is actually a speed control for the effect. So as I turn this LED will blink faster until I get to there. If I go slightly too far, it turns off completely. I think that's to do with the pot breaking the circuit. I don't think it's a very good, decent pot, but I'm going to look at getting a different one and swapping that out. I haven't actually spoke about what the pedal does yet. So all you've seen so far is that it blinks. Basically what it's doing is every time that's off, it's cutting the signal. So each blink is an on-off signal. I'm basically using a 555 time chip, an IC, to control a super bright LED which is inside in shrink wrap. It's like heat wrap, which has got a photoresistor, a light dependent resistor. So depending on the light, so if it's really bright, it lets all more signal through, which is basically what's happening. So as the light turns off, because it's in the shrink wrap, it's dark inside it, so it blocks out the signal. When the LED comes back on, the signal comes through again. Simple as that, basically. To change the speed, it's all about what pot you use in this one. At the moment, this is a 22k potentiometer. I've also got two 10 microfarad capacitors in it, which allows me to slow it down to that sort of speed. Originally I had one in, and it was a lot faster. It was double the speed again. So I might actually put that in, because I think it might actually be a bit better for faster vocal cut-ups. Because when it's this sort of speed, it is very right. So I'm thinking, if it was ever going to be used, it's probably going to be used at a faster speed. So I'm going to actually go into it and take out one of the capacitors I've also just got a 500k resistor, which is a lot bigger than this, but I'm going to try that out and see if that gives it any difference. I'm not actually going to do this right now, but I will take it apart and show you the electronics inside it. So let's turn that off, save battery. I will talk about some of the parts I've had to buy, but let's start off with things I've had to get so that I could even attempt doing this. This is my new multimeter. Here I'm holding it and it's registering. Right, registering at 1 now, which is that's basically saying that there's too much resistance. Holding together, no resistance at all. I think it's just to do with there actually being resistance in the air, which is quite unusual. But that basically allows me to test out all the resistors I've got. I do have, well, I did have, it's around here somewhere. Basically, I bought a set from Applin which comes with 10 of each different resistor. There's a huge variety of resistors, and I think there's like over 1,000 resistors in there, in the pack, something like that, I'm not quite sure, and a load of different capacitors, and there's a few transistors and LEDs and stuff like that in there. It's basically a good sort of starting point if you're new to electronics and you don't know what to get. So I will recommend that. I also bought this book, Starting Electronics. I haven't actually read it all because I borrowed another book from the library, which was handmade electronics, and it's more about hacking into stuff, and it had a certain thing in it. But this is basically like all the beginning stuff that I need to know, and we'll carry on reading about each part. But that was also from Applin for £19, which was rather expensive, but kind of worth it. I needed it. I've also got a clicky ball thing. Right, that was actually something I bought a long time ago. But yeah. Also, electronic digital calipers. This is something I bought last week when I realised I needed to measure out each component to see how big I need to drill the holes. This is actually a nice little piece of kit, which I've just opened upside down. Let's open it, show you the right way up. This is how it comes in. It actually comes with a spare battery, but that can stay in the little slot. It's basically, there's also a reset sort of thing. You can have it in millimeters or inches, depending on how you prefer it. And you can measure different things. So if I were to measure, say, that, just clamp it around, close it, pull it off, and it shows you exactly in millimeters or inches. So that's, the top of that is 0.4 inches or 10.15 millimeters. Another nice little feature about this is if you had a hole, you'd use this side and put it in, measure how big the hole is. This side is if you've got something to go in the hole, you measure how wide that is. Or if you've got a really small, tiny hole, you also slot this down and you can measure exactly like that distance down, mark it, and that's how far you want to drill into it, or something like that. If you have something that big and you want to go a bit bigger, you can just click 0 and you redo it. So, there we go, click 0, turn it off, sorted. Right, now to the interesting part for you guys. Let's take it apart and show you what's actually inside. I actually got this nice new pen for Christmas, which has like a bubble measurer, rulers on it, nice little penny bit here, soft stylus for touchscreens. If you unscrew this, you might not sure if you actually saw it or not, but and you can screw it onto the other end, which is nice so you don't lose it. There is a nice little Phillips screwdriver on there, or if you wiggle it and play around with it and pull it out, there's also a flathead on the other side, but I need the Phillips to undo the stuff. Right, let's turn this over. One thing I would say is with the 22k resist pots I've used, they are too high at the moment, and also they are wonky because they've got this little bump, which is actually me meant to drill another separate hole into the steel a little bit more so it locks into it. But I forgot about that at the time. That's another thing I'm going to go through and fix. I put these nice rubber feet on it as well, which basically to stop it from slipping when it's on the floor and you use your feet. Alright, XLR in, XLR out. I will be marking it at later points, say in and out, and be doing a paint job or whatever I'm going to do on it. Now, let's take it apart. I've just realised that the screw is loose, which means I didn't do it up tight.